A heads up for those heading south this afternoon. I-5 has just reopened in both directions near Woodburn after a major crash completely shut it down. Things are moving a little bit slow right now, but we're taking a live look at our ODOT camera near Wilsonville. You can see traffic again moving slowly, but ODOT warns that people heading south could face delays. Also topping our news this afternoon, police say a man was stabbed more than a dozen times shortly after winning $2,000 from a lottery machine at a Southeast Portland bar.
So he won that money last Saturday at Montana's bar on Southeast Stark Street. Officers say when he walked back to his apartment that night, less than a half-mile away, he was followed by 61-year-old Pablo Figueroa. Police say Figueroa followed the man all the way to his apartment unit, where he allegedly tackled the victim and demanded his money. They say he used a pocket knife to stab the man more than 15 times in the arms, face, and chest, and he didn't take off until the victim acted like he was dead.
So we literally looked out of our peephole and the cops were surrounding the recycle room, which is right across, and we were just like, wow, this is crazy. You know what I mean? And I actually seen the dude get pulled out, you know, and taken down, blood on him. It was pretty wild.
Police later found Figueroa and took him into custody. His charges include attempted murder, robbery, and assault. He's also charged with failing to register as a sex offender.
The man who police say tried to abduct an 11-year-old girl at Vancouver Park has made his first court appearance. 35-year-old Michael McLaughlin is charged with unlawful imprisonment and fourth-degree assault. Yesterday, prosecutors asked the judge to add attempted kidnapping charges, but the judge said that what happened in the park last Sunday did not appear to meet the legal definition of kidnapping. Meantime, neighbors in the Vancouver Heights community say they are still shaken up.
I've been here 64 years. And that's a long time to live in one place. It was disturbing and unsettling to me to something like that happens here.
The suspect's mother told KGW that this was all a misunderstanding, saying her son thought the girl was his daughter, who he hasn't seen in 2 years.
A Portland man faces federal charges after he allegedly threatened to blow up Jewish hospitals in New York. Federal prosecutors have indicted Domagoj Petkovic, saying that he made 6 fake bomb threats in 2021 that targeted Jewish hospitals and care centers. Those threats led to multiple bomb sweeps and at least one partial evacuation and lockdown. If he's convicted, Petkovic could face up to 155 years in prison.
We have an update on a shooting in Southeast Portland that left one person dead. Police have now identified the victim as 50-year-old Lorenzo Miranda. He was shot near Southeast 122nd and Division Monday night. Paramedics tried to save Miranda, but he died at the scene.
Miranda was one of 3 people killed by gun violence in Portland in a span of just 48 hours. So far, police haven't made any arrests. Yesterday, we did hear from the family of one of those victims, 45-year-old Donnie Calabaza. He was shot and killed Sunday night in the Buckman neighborhood at Southeast 9th and Washington. Donnie's close friends describe him as generous and an active member in Indigenous events all across the city.
Being able to take him to Mount Hood, to a sacred place and where he'll be buried, and that's going to come with his ashes, his clothing, as well as a bow and arrow, a knife, meat, and water, so he can take it on to the next journey.
That was Donnie's older sister. He also leaves behind a 17-year-old son. 3 people were forced from their homes after an apartment tower in the Selwood neighborhood of Southeast Portland caught fire. Crews say it started last night on a 5th-floor balcony around 8 o'clock and then spread to 3 other floors. No one was hurt, though, thanks in large part to neighbors who were looking out for each other.
There was this one lady that, you know, we had to help her down the stairs and stuff. She started crying. I was like, it's okay. It's going to be okay. You know, I was kind of scared for her, though. Like, I was scared for all of us, to be real.
Firefighters put that fire out within 30 minutes. There's still no word on the cause.
Monoma County says it's getting more people into housing and shelters. According to newly released data from the Joint Office of Homeless Services, nearly 5,500 people have been rehoused in Monoma County in the last year. That's an increase of more than 1,200 people, or 28% since the previous year. In addition, more than 7,800 people entered shelters, which is nearly 35% increase year after year. Officials credit the extra tax money coming in from the Supportive Housing Services measure. Now to Idaho, where Brian Kohberger is expected to be back in court next week. He's accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students back in 2022. Next week's hearing will cover a potential venue change for this trial. Koberger's attorneys say that he won't get an unbiased jury if the trials happen where the murders happen, but the state is pushing to keep the case where it is. The two sides will present their case next Thursday. The official trial is set for this summer.
Oregon is getting more than $35 million to help with salmon recovery efforts. NOAA awarded the funds to the state to address Pacific salmon and steelhead populations. More than $3 million of those dollars is going to two groups in the Klamath Basin to help with repairing and reviving water habitat there and the ongoing efforts to remove the Klamath Dam.
All right, let's take a look at weather with Rod Hill.
Well, so far, a lot of clouds, and as we expected when I talked to you on Sunrise this morning, not a lot of rain out there. Many of us have simply been dry. Radar is showing some widely scattered traceable green dots, which in many cases are probably not much more than sprinkles. This surprises me. I thought this was an area, this is Lincoln City, and you see the sun. That's what surprises me. There was some rain here overnight, but now it's cleared out. So that's evidence of this weather pattern. It's really difficult to pin down who's going to get rain and who's not that we've been talking about. 69 right now in Lincoln City. The clouds have not broken here in the Inland Valley. Portland is solid overcast. And because of that, the temperature's gone up 2 degrees since earlier this morning. It's basically been steady, and our next 6 hours shows that we have a chance to get up to about 70 or 71 degrees. Now, we'll keep the ongoing threat of scattered showers alive. The main event today is still expected to be this rain band coming up from the south. This is this evening at 7 o'clock, and then 8, 9, 10 o'clock. Some of us could get into some heavier rain and maybe even some rumbles of thunder. Again, that is this evening, but between now and then, it's probably pretty quiet outside. That's your forecast for now.
All right, Rod, thank you. So we have a heads up for pet owners this afternoon about a specific type of weed called foxtails. The plants have seeds that form a tail at the top, which means that they dry out and dogs can sniff them up their nostrils.
Now, vets say it happens a lot this time of year, and it happened to Maggie. She's a Boston Terrier. Dr. Ann Marshall from Dove Lewis says that you should always check your pets for foxtails anytime you've been outside and keep an eye out for sneezing or sore spots. Some local grade schoolers, meanwhile, had a chance to do some back-to-school shopping yesterday. Take a look at this video. Shop with a Cop. The Sunshine Division has been orchestrating this event for more than 20 years now, setting up each kid with a $150 gift card to spend on clothes or really whatever else they need. And they get to do all of that right alongside a Portland police officer.
This is one of our best community engagement opportunities. We're dealing with kids that some are low income, some have not necessarily great experience with police officers. So to be able to have this event where we're bridging the gap, right? We're building that rapport.
There were about 250 kids there yesterday who walked away from this experience with brand new clothes and maybe a new friend as well.
The Portland Saturday Market is being designated as the Oregon Heritage Tradition as it enters its 51st year. So it joins events like the Oregon State Fair, Pendleton Roundup, and the Woodburn Fiesta Mexicana,
which have all, by the way, received the honor from the Oregon Heritage Commission. So this Saturday market began back in 1974 with two artists and their goal to have an open-air downtown market to sell homemade crafts and foods. Since then, the market has grown to over 400 members and has more than 250,000 visitors each and every year. There's a special ceremony that's happening this weekend to honor this event.